Is it possible to stay just as good at a game as I was 3 years ago? Let's talk about it. The last time I sped around Celeste was over 3 years ago, on the 13th of April, no is no, 2023, at a time of 49:55, three numbers that I can't remember. And let me tell you, a lot has happened since then. Without divulging my life too much, I missed the game dearly. But with no time to practice, I thought I had just lost it, and I would never speedrun like I had previously. Recently though, I've noticed an hour here, another there. What was I doing? Absolutely nothing. It's why this channel has even revived. I saw time to do something. So I set a challenge. Once a day, for a week. I'd find some time, I'd do a run of Celeste, no matter what. I thought it would start horrifically. And to be honest, maybe it did. After consistently seeing sub hours before I took my break, this was a wake-up call. This wouldn't be as easy as I thought. But before that, sponsor! No, I'm just kidding. But before I start, I implore you to play Celeste. This isn't any kind of review or story analysis video, so don't leave just yet. But even if you have a bit of time after, please give the game a shot. The devs deserve every cent that is made off the game. Also, only 12% of my viewers subscribed. It's up from last time. So also do that. Like, I've been told to say like and subscribe because apparently it helps. Anyway, let's go. Chapter 1. Every mountain has a foot. We all start somewhere, and searching back through my original runs, I was definitely starting with a boost. Muscle memory was kicking in faster than I expected, and suddenly this challenge seemed possible. Room after room, level after level, I remembered why I fell in love with this game all those years ago. And with the incredible soundtrack blasting through my headphones, I broke that threshold day 2. Well, more than broke it, I shattered it. From over an hour to 56:43, it felt incredible. And in my heart, I knew that I could do it. That it was still there in me. That part of me still existed, ready to soar at any moment. Still, there were ways to go. But if we're being honest, it was very clear that I was at Chapter 2. Base Camp. Between the first sub-hour and the second, I decided to relearn a couple things. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but what if the tricks weren't as new as you thought? Clearly, I knew how to do these tricks from before, and my rooting was solid, but a reminder was clearly necessary. I'll never be the best to explain them, so I'll be linking a proper explanation in the description, but let's go over some basic tricks. Super dashes and hyper dashes, or supers and hypers for short, are ways to jump and dash together to get an insane amount of momentum or height. While clearing this gap doesn't seem easy, look at that! Tricks like this will save infinite amounts of time. Combining this with dash extensions and you're set. Again, link in the description. But the short of it is, when you dash, you aren't meant to get another one until you stand on the ground again. Not touch, stand. This stops you from clearing insane gaps just by dashing. But what if we could get our dash back? Not while in midair, obviously, but what if during a hyper dash we just stayed on the ground a little bit longer? Oh, yes. This is an extended hyper, and it's used to clear gaps such as this one, and god, does it feel good. There is so much more to these dashes. Extended dashes, wave dashes, the list goes on. But again, I'm not really qualified, so there'll be links below for those interested. This day ended with a 53:47, cutting off time at an incredible pace, but I knew it would slow down. Chapter 3. A hotel? Up here? So, Celestial Resort was giving me trouble. The time was always much more than it should be for me. I knew exactly why. So, step 1, reroute. Turns out I'd been doing it in the wrong order so far. Whoops. Step 2, screen resets. Swapping between rooms resets your dash. So, what if we just skip this? Yay!
Yay! Yippee! Wahoo! I'm a fat fucking chud!
Step 3, timing. The gloop, as it's known around these parts, was giving me more issues than it should. I knew the patterns, I just wasn't using them. So what if I just... What do you mean this works? Step 4, demo dashing. This was one of the biggest discoveries in all of Celeste speedrunning. If you crouched within a few frames before dashing, Madeline's hitbox would just be smaller during the dash. Does this matter ever? Hell yes. This wall of gloop has a near pixel perfect spot to dash through, and I spent an hour practicing to get it down. I also remembered that there's a crouch dash button. After 20 minutes of practicing. Thanks guys, I love when you make glitches into game mechanics. 52:42 by the way, today. Inching ever closer, but slowing down. Was a week really enough time for me? Chapter 4. Part of me. Within the game, a part of Madeline exists. A second sort of ghostly version. It torments her through parts of the game. You aren't a mountain climber. In the finale of the penultimate main level, Madeline and Badeline, as some know her, unite, unlocking a second dash, and this changes everything. And I hadn't really readjusted to the summit mechanical difference. So again, I locked in, relearnt how to do summit. Did it help? No! All of my summits during this challenge are fucking abysmal. Was it worth it? Probably not, but I had fun. When Madeline leaves Celeste Mountain, this part of her disappears. Seemingly it's linked to the mountain, not directly to her. Both Madeline and the mountain need to exist together for her to exist. And you know what? Sometimes during this challenge, it's like part of me came back. Someone who I hadn't seen since the last time I ran this game. It was like an old friend greeting me after years away. This game has made me feel like it was 3 years ago, and my world was a lot less stressful. I wasn't properly acquainted with Urshifu or Kali Rex Shadow Rider yet. Obligatory Pokemon reference aside, this game is, and always has been, special to me. And I love it for that. 50-55. I draw ever closer to that goal. Sub 50. Maybe even beating my PB. Chapter 5. Summit. Today felt different. During my first run, the game crashed during Forgotten City. I had abandoned my second and third runs due to overblowing minor mistakes. Because I'm a climber, not a miner? Jokes aside, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to do another run. It was already 20 minutes after I had planned to start. Was it even worth continuing? Let's see. Forsaken City was good, around the time I looked for. As far as I can tell, Old Site was a gold split this run. Despite fumbles during the boss fight, Resort was good enough early on for me to not mind it. Golden Ridge, a few fumbles late on, but nothing I couldn't recover from. Temple was slow, until the Crystal section, but I flew through it to make decent enough time. Reflection, that was where I really started to believe. This was my fastest ever, almost a minute ahead of any other I've done during this week. And all that was ahead of me was the summit, and that ever-present timer in the corner. In fact, let's quickly talk about that. I praise Celeste's devs on their dedication to the speedrunning community. A built-in game timer means no one has to worry about the menus. Like, menu times don't matter because the game tracks when you are in game. You don't have to use live split for this. You can just load up the game, OBS record yourself, and you can have a run. Nothing else needed. Between every level, I can take a minute. Breathe, rest my hands, because this is stressful. Thank you kindly, Celeste team. Anyway, let's talk Summit. Looking at my time, 15 minutes and 10 seconds was all that stood between me and beating my PB, and it was looking close. As I mentioned before, Summit isn't my strong suit. Everything was going well until fumble after fumble. Time was ticking down. Was that it? Had I thrown away everything? Despite crashes and crash outs today, this run persevered. It was the light in the darkness of this late night run. And just as I thought it was all over, 49:30. A week had turned into 5 days. 5 days where I felt passionate about the game again. 5 days where I had decided to take back what I had worked so hard for, and then some. But was I done? Unfortunately, yes. Due to some very foreseen circumstances, I was unable to play for the last 2 days of my set week. Working hard and then playing hard meant that 49:30 was fate handing me a royal flush. Chapter 6. Farewell. I cannot put into words how much I love Celeste. It is easily one of my favourite games of all time, and at one point, maybe even number one. Revitalising my love for this game years after I thought I was done has really opened my eyes to just how much I can do, just how much I can be. For a while, it felt like I'd lost my spark. The love for games I'd been so vehement I would keep as I was getting older was seeming to vanish. I was playing games for the people, not for the games. But this challenge, it made me feel like I was back to being myself. It made me feel like the time I had been wasting could be worth it again. I love Celeste. Calling myself a speedrunner would be a stretch, but calling myself a mountain climber? Also a stretch. I climb inside. Subscribe. Bye.